Hey guys, thanks for being here. This is the first video about my workshop on goal setting for intuitives, INFJs, INFPs, any kind of N on the Myers-Briggs spectrum. So why is goal setting different for intuitives? Because we need to use our intuition to make decisions, and all the advice out there is very logic based. Like, okay, like you have a goal that you want to get in shape, so you need to decide how much weight you want to lose, and then you need to decide how many calories that is a day, and then you need to come up with the meal plan that fits that many calories. I mean, like, logically that makes sense, but if you try it and it doesn't work for you, then it doesn't matter how logical it is. All that matters is what works. So with us, we need to leave room for our intuition to work, okay? And like, intuition doesn't really fit with like the logical way to do things. So intuition would be like, I want to get in shape and I don't know how it's going to happen. But you set the intention, and then you look for little nudges and you look for little clues, and you check in with yourself, like, at what feels good, like, and you make it easy, you make it small. Like, you'd set the intention, like, I just want to feel good in my body, right? And then you just kind of let your imagination work. You kind of brainstorm, like, I wonder, like, what would make me feel good in my body. I used to love rollerblading. Do I want to try rollerblading again? How does that feel? Am I getting a yes from my intuition? Am I getting a no? What makes it hard for me to take care of my body right now? I'm tired all the time. I'm too tired to make a healthy meal. Would it feel good to order pre-made meals? How does that feel? And it's kind of like this meandering path of just like exploring what feels good, trying stuff, keep trying things until something feels good. Because the problem with like very strict goals is it's very easy to fail at a very strict goal. As soon as we fail on a strict goal, then it's like puts all this negative energy on this idea of getting in shape. And then whenever we think about getting in shape, we feel bad. And that's like the opposite energy of like what's going to motivate you. So goals need to be a little bit looser. There's like a difference with if you're the judging personality types versus the perceiving personality types. Perceivers love to keep things open. They're very good at keeping things open. Sometimes they keep things a little bit too open. So like they won't get as far as setting the intention or like coming up with a loose goal. So that's something like on the perceiver end, sometimes there's not enough structure. And then the judgers, we love structure, but we kind of overwhelm ourselves with it. We kind of go overboard with it. Like something I would do in the past is like, I want to lose weight. So like I need to go to the gym and I need to do this like couch to 5K running plan, and like I should do X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D. I should do all these things. Like I just go to the max with it. It's like, it's too much. So having a little bit of structure is going to give the J's more flexibility, but it's going to give the P's more structure, to just have a little bit of structure in there. And making it easy, listening to your intuition instead of like logicking your way through it. I think that can help. Another thing I think that is helpful is scheduling time instead of to-do lists. So the problems with to-do lists is like we don't know how long they're going to take. My to-do lists, I want it to take like a day and it can take like weeks. So instead of like saying like I want to write a book in 1 month, if you say like I want to spend half an hour a day working on my book, it's way easier to break a goal down into time chunks instead of to-do lists, because to-do lists, you don't have a lot of control over them. You can't really control how long it takes to write a book. You want it to take a month, but then because you want it to take a month and you can't get it done in a month, then you get discouraged, and that kind of poisons the energy around it. So it'll take longer. It'll take longer than a month. Whereas if you're just working 30 minutes every day, you feel like this sense of accomplishment that you showed up. And the goal doesn't become finishing anything. It just becomes working on it. When you turn the goal of working on something, when you turn the goal into working on something instead of finishing something, it actually makes it easier to finish. Eating the frog is another thing, like getting the hardest thing done first. I don't think that advice applies all the time. It depends. Like with me, I have like my annoying, boring adulting stuff that I have to get done, and then like there's the creative stuff that I want to get done, but sometimes they both feel hard. So when you talk about eating the frog, that means like getting the hardest thing done and over with. But I feel like the hard creative stuff kind of competes with like the stuff that's just hard on my nervous system, like scheduling a doctor's appointment. So as far as eating the frog, I have to balance that where like sometimes that means I'm getting my creative stuff done first, and sometimes that means I'm getting like my adulting stuff done first. So just kind of like balancing that out, because both of those things zap my energy, and sometimes I only have the energy to get like one of those done. Sometimes if I have extra energy left over in the day, that's great, and I can get 2 things done, but like we're very sensitive. We can usually only get 1 or 2 big things done a day. So I usually try to like prioritize the creative stuff, but then I get too backed up on the other stuff, and then sometimes I have to switch over. But you can simplify that into just like paying attention to your energy reserves. Like some people have more energy at night. So kind of saving the big hard stuff for when you have the most energy, and just prioritizing like 1 or 2 things a day. The only warning I would give with like saving stuff for nighttime when you have more energy is if you're doing a lot of other life stuff during the day, by the time night rolls around, like you just might not have the brain power left. So it's really just about your own patterns and your own energy levels, and like designing a habit that works for you. Yeah, like your energy is a wallet. It's not endless. So just kind of really prioritizing your energy levels and planning around it. Yeah, and just letting yourself rest when you're tired, not feeling like guilt when you're just like exhausted and you just need a break one day. Make taking breaks like part of the work. And then like turning goals into habits too. Again, like goals it's easy to fail at. Like I want to finish a book, or I want to lose 10 pounds, or that's like a very like win versus fail thing. But if you just look for habits, like something small you can do every day that's going to support that goal, that's helpful. So like say, okay, I want to like try to like heal some of my anxiety. So maybe I should drink less coffee, or I could try to switch to tea. So drinking tea every morning is a habit that's going to support my goal of like feeling less anxious all the time. Or writing for 30 minutes as being like the first thing you do each day, or at least going outside, right? You can say, okay, I like ideally I'd exercise every day, but it's probably not going to happen. So you could turn that into like, I want to go for a walk at least once a week. Or you could even turn that into like, I'm going to at least step outside my door. At least step outside my door every day, even if I'm just standing on the porch. Instead of like looking at like the ideal best case scenario, try to think of like at least, like what would the smallest habit be towards building toward that would build towards this goal. I think that can help too. So a little bit about the workshop. It's going to be a 3-day workshop, and it's going to be live. It's going to be on Zoom probably. If you can't make it to the live workshop, it's going to be recorded. We're all going to be in a Facebook group together, so you can still talk to everyone else in the class. The first day is going to be like a support group style, like kind of like 12-step style. We're just going to talk about all the gnarly stuff that we're dealing with. It doesn't have to be goal related. It's just like, I think part of like working on positive stuff is like getting all the gunk out also. So yeah, we're just gonna like whatever's on our mind, like it doesn't have to be gnarly stuff. It can be anything. Like whatever you're going through right now, we're just gonna go around and we're gonna talk about it in a really safe, supportive space. No judgment, no advice, just like everyone like listening and holding space for each other. Then the next class after that is going to be just like a silent co-working group. And we're going to do like vision boarding and visualization. So we're not going to get specific on our goals in that class. We're just going to like look for inspiration. There's like this quality of humans that we really don't know what's going to make us happy. We think we know. We think that being married and having good grades and having lots of money will make us happy, but there's all these studies that prove like it doesn't change happiness levels really barely at all. So we're gonna vision board, and we're not gonna really be specific, we're just gonna look for inspiration, and that can be your version. Maybe your version is just writing words like happiness. Or I use Pinterest all the time. I'm like on Pinterest, like finding images of like people running on the beach, or like playing soccer on a beach, or like just riding elephants. Riding elephants is bad, but like playing with elephants, or just like images that make you feel something. Like it does not have to be logical. It can just be like things that evoke certain emotions, like this emotion of like freedom, or it can be specific. I mean, it's really anything you want it to be. You can write. You don't have to show anyone your vision board. It's just whatever that version looks like for you. And then the last one, we're going to kind of go through like 12 different pillars of having like a balanced, wholehearted life. Like, then we're going to get specific. Like, what do you want in terms of community? What do you want in terms of a romantic relationship? What do you want in terms of family? the last one, we're going to go through all these pillars. But one thing I've learned about being creative is that like editing has to come last. So that's kind of like hearkening back to that. So we're going to start off really loose and just follow our intuition and like gather ideas that aren't based in logic or anything rigid. And then the last one, we're going to get more specific about it. But so that's the plan. I want to do a couple more videos about goal setting. So if you have questions, ideas, struggles, all of that stuff, I want to know. Are there methods for goal setting that work for you? What do you struggle with in terms of your goals? What types of goals do you feel like you always set and never reach? I want to know all that stuff. So there's going to be a link. If you're watching the video, go to that link, and there's going to be a way to contact me there. If you're just listening, you would go to the website jennydobson.com. It's JENNYDOBSON.com, and there's a way to contact me there. So send in anything you want. Questions, ideas, struggles, all that stuff. I think it's a good time of year for goal setting. It's like the actual new year, it's like there's too much going on. So we're going to goal set for next year now in the fall. I think is the perfect time to do it. And keep an eye out for the next video, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll be back soon. Thanks, guys.